Here are the 5 hidden costs of owning rental property that you need to know before you buy. It's pretty easy to figure out what the income of a rental property would be, but you really don't know what the expenses are until after you buy the property. So to get you prepared to buy your first rental property, I'm going to show you the 5 hidden costs that you need to make sure you factor in when buying a property. The first hidden cost you need to be prepared for are the utilities. Now, if the electric and the gas are separated for each unit in the building, then you can just have the tenant pay their share of the utilities. If the entire building only has one furnace or one boiler, however, then you as the owner will be responsible for that. If that's the case, make sure you are charging enough in rent to cover that extra heating cost that you will have. And make sure you advertise that apartment as having free heat. Besides the gas and electric bill, as an owner, you also need to be prepared to pay the water/garbage/sewer bill, or whatever they call it where you live. As the owner, you are solely responsible for that bill. For the buildings I own, that bill normally comes out to around $130 a month per building. So that's something you need to make sure you factor in when counting the expenses. The second hidden cost you need to be prepared for is for landscaping and snow removal. Many people don't realize this, but the outside of the building is just as important as the inside of the building as far as upkeep goes. You want to make sure that the grass is cut, all the weeds are taken care of, and during the winter time, you want to make sure that the walkways are properly shoveled so your tenants can have a clear path. If you live in the property, chances are you're going to want to take care of this yourself in order to save some money like I do with my property. If you don't live at the property, you're going to want to hire somebody to take care of that grass for you unless you feel like lugging around a lawnmower back and forth to different properties. For the property I don't live in, I normally pay around $450 for landscaping, and for snow removal I'll pay anywhere from $100 to $150, just depending on how much it snows during the year. The first 2 hidden costs are often overlooked, but once you're aware of them, you can pretty much prepare for them. They're not that hard to estimate. These next hidden costs, however, are a little bit trickier. The third hidden cost you need to look out for are the unexpected repairs. I don't care how new your building is, eventually you're going to run into some sort of expected repair, whether it be something simple like a clogged sink or it can be a leaky roof. Something's going to happen. Unless you have a crystal ball, there really is no good way to estimate when these repairs will be needed. In order to be prepared for when they do happen, I recommend you save anywhere from 5 to 10% of your rental income to be able to handle any issues that pop up. The fourth hidden cost that nobody talks about but is pretty much guaranteed to happen to you are increasing property taxes. If there's one thing you can count on, it's that Uncle Sam is going to come after his tax money. Since property taxes are based on how much the property is worth, as your property appreciates in value over the years, your property taxes will increase as well. Basically, this means that as the years go on, your mortgage is going to increase little by little. To prepare yourself for this, I recommend that you increase your rents by a little bit, at least every few years, in order to keep up with these increasing costs. However, I warn you, do not go overboard with this. The number 1 rule when it comes to rental property is to make sure you keep good tenants. So keep that in mind. The 5th hidden cost, which is also hard to predict, but you need to prepare for, are vacancies. When that happens, the responsibility of the mortgage falls solely on your shoulders. So you need to make sure you're prepared to pay for that when that happens. When you're trying to decide whether to buy a rental property or not, I would recommend that you plan for the building to be vacant for at least 1 month out of the year. If you feel like you can manage the expenses even with that 1 month missing, then chances are the building is a good deal. If you don't feel like you can manage those expenses if that 1 month is missing, this building may be too expensive for you. Now, if you want to know what to do step by step to buy your first rental property, check out my video here.